Hey guys, Toby Morrison here, and beside me is Mr. Charlie Ford.
Yep.
Say hello.
Hey guys.
So Charlie's an ex-patient of mine, and I've got a really inspiring story coming up for you with this interview with Charlie, because not only Charlie, had chronic fatigue, he was so severe that he was in a wheelchair for 6 months. He didn't complete school, but fast forward a few years, Charlie inspires me, and he's recovered now. But not only that he's recovered, but what he's doing right now and in the future is absolutely mind blowing. And we're going to share, your story and our story together, and give the guys at home, an interview that is really changed your life,
Yeah.
but the lives that you've helped change around the world as well.
Yeah.
So just to give you a bit of the overview, how old were you when you got chronic fatigue syndrome?
Well, I got glandular fever when I was about 17, I think, and then that was kind of towards my 18th birthday or so, and then that kind of really hit me hard in year 11 of school, and just kind of pushed through for about a year until I started to develop quite severe anxiety that led me to stop school, and then eventually that led into chronic fatigue at about the age of, I don't even know, still 18 or something.
So you had you had glandular fever, which is a virus, which is the catalyst for CFS, and then you had anxiety on top of that. So you had the double whammy. I'm not kind of surprised that you're in a wheelchair for a while, because you would have just been so wiped.
That's exactly it. I really felt like I had two things going. It was my immune system plus the anxiety on top.
Yeah.
And it just felt like the perfect storm. That's how I kind of looked at it. Everything just came together.
And we only met a year ago, right?
Yeah.
So before that, you tried lots of different things.
Yeah.
Rather than talk about what didn't work, because I think everyone at home probably knows what doesn't work, and they've tried everything as well. For you, what was the most important thing, that probably got you started on your recovery with CFS?
The most number one thing that comes straight to my head is acceptance. That's honestly was the hardest part for me, was accepting where I'm at, and just having that understanding of the things that I can't do right at this moment because of where I'm at with my health. And once I kind of realised that, it took so long. I remember I woke up and one morning I just kind of realised, like, shit, this needs to change. I need to make my health my number one priority.
So your mindset needed to change? My
mindset needed to change with that, and obviously I was dealing with the anxiety on top of that, but I knew that if I could control that, then the other things would start to change as well.
Yeah, mate, spot on. And I think for me as well, I can say, it's the first chapter in my book, acceptance.
Yeah.
If you don't accept where you're at, then how are you ever going to change it? And it took me 2 years, to accept where I was truly at, and sure enough, once I did that, I started to improve slowly but surely. So I think we met, I reckon you were about halfway with your recovery, maybe a little bit more.
Just over halfway.
Yeah, I reckon you're about 60% better. There is no quick fix cure out there. There just isn't. And until we stop searching for that, we're never going to really improve our condition. And I do remember you coming in for the first session, and we worked on your routine, we worked on your structure, we worked on a restorative exercise plan that benefited you, didn't make you feel worse, but also worked on your anxiety, the things that that you needed to work on at the time.
Yeah, well, that's why the first attracted me to come to was my mindset, because I was about to go on a massive trip that I thought was never possible, and I came in and I said to Toby, I'm about to go away to the UK for a month with my girlfriend. I don't know if I can do this. And the first thing he said to me was, you can do it, I know you can do it. And I was so doubting myself. I'm like, I'm going to feel shit, I'm going to have to come home. And sure enough, we just had a great time. And I was fun.
I told you. No, but the funny thing was, the funny thing was, I would never, I give my honest opinion with everyone I see and speak to. And I knew Charlie's at a stage where he could physically manage it, because I wouldn't have told him to go otherwise. But sometimes when we start to overcome CFS, the hardest thing is living life again. That was the hardest thing for me. And I think sometimes we need to take that next step to overcome our fears and our doubts and our anxiety, and prove ourselves wrong. And I could see for Charlie that was your next step. And I know we haven't spoken about that really since, but at the time I knew that if you could do this then and get through it, which you did, and I'm sure you had a few hard days in between that month of UK, but you did it.
Yeah.
And you're still alive, and you're no worse, and you're actually in fact better.
Yeah, I came back feeling better from it, knowing that I could actually achieve something that big. Just prior to that, I was doing nothing. So obviously there was time in between where I got to that stage, but it's cool to look back on that.
And so as soon as Charlie's done this massive milestone trip, right? It really 2 years prior thought that it was never possible. It almost was like you could take the world on.
Yeah, that's
so. So the funniest thing happened, guys. Charlie booked in for a set. This is the best part of the story. So
it was like the first week when I got back.
So Charlie got back. I didn't even know he was back. He texted me saying, "Hey Toby, can I please book in for a session this week?" And I said, "Yep, come in at this time. I'll see you then." So Charlie came in. We sat down in my office, and I said, "All right, Charlie, what do you want to work on today?" Because I'm with my sessions, I'm really intuitive and flexible, and I work on what's most important with my clients. So whatever we need to work on, we work on. Whatever's going on in that current time or situation, whether it's setbacks, symptoms, anxiety, mindset, goal setting, the whole lot. And so Charlie came in. He was kind of nervous. You could tell something was on his mind, and he came in with his big kind of what was it, camera set, right? Camera set and camera bag and laptop. And I was like, why has he got this stuff here today? I was wondering, why the hell has he got this stuff? And anyway, so Charlie came in, he sat down, and I said, "So what can I help you with, mate?" And he goes, "Oh, well."
You were like standing at the door, like ready to come out and start doing.
Yeah, I was ready to do some recovery and some stretching and stuff. And Charlie goes, "Oh, I just want to ask you a question." And I was like, "Oh God, like what's going to happen now? Like, what kind of a question has he got for me?" And I could see it was a big one because there was something, you had something on your mind, and you obviously were thinking about it a lot that week. And so he came down, and he sat down, and he goes to me, "I want to film you." And this was like a year ago almost, or 9 months ago. And I was thinking, well, that's a bit strange. And I said, "Well, what do you want to film?" He goes, "Oh, I just think your story's so inspiring, and you've inspired me to reach my dreams, and I think that your story needs to be heard." And whilst that was nice to hear, I was very busy at the time with my centre, and at the time I was just developing my online program on paper, and I was producing it really, and setting out the plan of how it would look, and all the modules and all the video content and stuff like that. And it was funny that the fact that he asked that he wanted to film me, and I said, "Well, I'd love to do a story, but I just don't have the time to do a personal story on me right now. But what I do need is a filmer and photographer for my online program that we're producing." And I said to you, "How good are you?" And you said to me that you're 10 times better than any other video camera person I've ever used in my whole career. And it was funny because I'd never really seen Charlie's work before. And so what did I say to you? Do you remember?
You said you'll give me a go.
Yeah, I was really nervous because obviously the online program is now live in 4 different countries, and it's really helping people worldwide, and it had to be professional and really well shot. And I didn't know if Charlie was any good or not. And it was funny, I said to you, "I'll give you 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Because I already had another filmer lined up, and I said, "I'll give you 2 weeks because you're a good guy, and I know you want to help me, and if you're good, we'll keep doing it." And sure enough, he was better than good. He was amazing, and this is why he's here now. Charlie is the CFS Health, filmer and photographer. All the videos on YouTube, on my website, and in the online program, and it's I got to thank you for that, because
I remember that day that you said I could have that opportunity to film you on my program. I ran out like straight to the car with my mum, and I was like, "Yeah, I was so stoked." I went to my girlfriend's house. That's when I got the hoodie as well that day.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Guess what? Guess what?" And I was like so stoked.
See, I didn't even know that. But it's amazing because I don't think we realise the amount of work we have to put into it. And guys, I think it's pretty inspiring. And the reason why I wanted to do this interview today, and Charlie was a little bit hesitant, was because this is 2 guys who have both succumbed to chronic fatigue syndrome really severely. And I was in hospital for a while, and Charlie was in a wheelchair, and it took up a lot of our life for a long time, and probably changed our life forever in a sense. Good and bad, and now it's obviously positive, but I just wanted to share this story with you because, from that day when we shook hands and we said, let's give it a go, we gave it a go, and I mean, tell the guys the hours we were doing. Oh, it was crazy, wasn't it?
I can tell you how many gig there was of filming. It was like nearly 200 gig.
200 gigs. So
filming.
Is that how many minutes is that?
Hours. That's
hours.
Like nearly like, I don't even know, 20 hours of filming or something.
and guys, to give you like an example, like,
and that's just like straight filming of Toby. Just
yeah, and it was funny at the start because, you know, it's quite difficult when you're looking at the camera all the time and you've got to talk, you've got to pretend that there's a big crowd there and that you guys are listening even though you're not at the time. And so, you know, it was quite funny, some of the stuff ups we did, and, you know, I remember using the whiteboard over there, and I think I spelled exercise wrong because I was so tired of filming and this guy was just laughing behind the camera the whole time, just banging me. But
it took like another hour to get that shot because I was laughing so much from the first.
But it's funny because at the time I didn't think that the online program was going to be that successful and help that many people. Did you think that at the time? No. And so whilst we were doing this, and I think we were so passionate about it. I mean, we were here in the centre on Sunday night, Saturday night. You know, any kind of hour in the day that I had free, we'd be filming and trying to, you know, do the best job we could and help, you know, give the most helpful advice. And it was great to have Charlie behind the camera because whenever I said something that was right or spot on, he would nod, and, you know, you could just see that was something that he would need when he was sick. And you know, I guess that's how I created this whole centre and the online program, was because this is everything that I needed when I was sick in terms of help, guidance, practicality, you know, reassurance, and just that ongoing support that was missing for both of us when we were sick, really.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But, you know, guys, I'm not sure if you know, but the online program is now live in 14 different countries, and I think Charlie and I, we worked so hard that, you know, we didn't realise the impact and the power it would have on people's lives. And I mean, what can you say about that?
Yeah, it's honestly amazing for me to see the change that it's doing, because, you know, just like Toby and, you know, so you're watching this now, I'm sure you'll have dreams that you want to do after you get better, and one of mine was to film something with chronic fatigue so people could you know, get help from it, and that's exactly what I've done, and it's just crazy that it's actually happened. And it's just an amazing feeling, because I every night I've watched, you know, little YouTube videos of chronic fatigue, and I'm just like, shit, you know, this is so bad, I just want to do my own one day.
Yeah, because there was still a lot of negative stuff out there.
Yeah, and that's what I hated so much about it, was because it was all negative and a lot of it was just garbage. And then I saw Toby, I read his book, that's what I read your book, I'm like, okay, this guy knows his stuff, I want to film this dude.
Yeah.
Because he's real, you know, and it's all real.
Yeah.
And the online program just speaks for itself.
Now, can you know, because I obviously do a lot of talking, I want Charlie to talk a little bit. Can you tell the guys how kind of annoying I am towards you sometimes, in terms of how needy I am? You know, those times when I'd call you really early in the morning, go, hey mate, I need to film you today, you need to film me today, we need to do this today.
Well, that's what happened last night.
That's what happened last night, because I called him and I came up with this idea. I said, man, we need to film this.
I got another meeting soon to go to with a lady I'm going to start filming for. He's coming now, I've got to go film.
Yeah. So what was I like? Just demanding?
Very demanding, very... just wanted to get shit done, like whenever,
yeah.
as much as possible. That's cool.
What have you learned from me, from what I've done?
A lot, honestly, a lot. I can't even describe. Just a lot of work ethic, I think. You know, for me as a filmer to grow into my own, determination, motivation, passion, and to thrive, to be that, you know, as best as you can to your ability, and also along the way to make sure you're still looking after your health. And that's what we still do on a daily basis. You know, we talk about it, we speak a lot about, you know, his and mine health, but it's great though, because we bounce off one another, and we do this and we do all the right things, and we're just doing as, you know, in heaps now. It just keeps going on, and it's crazy.
I do remember, I just had a flashback then, when we started filming, and I wrote a script because I was going to do it scripted, right?
Yeah.
And I started reading the script in front of the camera, and I just found it really difficult, and I was stuttering, and I couldn't get the words across. And I threw out the script, and I just said, film me.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop, did I?
No. Like, I remember you had it all written down, like, just page after page, and you just close the laptop up, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And
boom.
Yeah, and it was from the heart, you know. And I think it's important that we're real in this life, and that we're just being human and we relate straight away rather than reading something off a piece of paper. And you know, we ended up doing so many hours of filming, and it was awesome. And I do remember being annoying to you. So about 4 months ago, I woke up one day, and this is the problem with me. You know, since I've recovered from chronic fatigue, I have a million ideas, don't I?
Yep.
and so I guess because I was so sick for so long, I had so much time on my hands, and I wanted to do so much, but I couldn't do it. I'm sure you can relate at home. And I guess since recovering, I've just tried to fill up every moment I've got with something I could achieve or do or dream of. So 3 months ago, I was like, why haven't I done a DVD? And because people, we don't obviously have applications closed for the online program every so month, and we can't let everyone in. So why haven't I shot a DVD for everyone out there? And so I called you in the morning and I said, bro, we need to do a DVD. and what did you? You're like, yeah, let's do it. and this is it. So this is it. I'll try and put it close to the screen. Chronic fatigue syndrome: A Guide to Recovery, and this is all Charlie's work, guys. He did all the filming for this, all the editing, and it was amazing how time consuming that was just to get the CD. I mean, you can see there chronic fatigue, and we're obviously pretty proud of it. But it's for me, this is a great catalyst, not just for people with chronic fatigue syndrome, but for their carers, for doctors, because I think that's the biggest thing that we struggled with. We didn't have the right doctors telling us where to go, what to do, what not to do, and it just set us up for failure. Yeah. You agree?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. It's another string to his bow. I mean, how old are you now? 20? 20. 20 years old, and he's already, he's filmed a DVD, he's got an online program, and not only that, this kid had to go through hell and back to get through that and then do this stuff. So it's a awesome inspiration, and I like to, when you're here and you're filming, I like to get you involved with all my clients and patients, and I just think it's important. Coming from a sufferer yourself, what advice do you give to other people? What would you tell a viewer right now? Just through your own experience, not just from.
Well, there's a lot of advice, but the number one is just stick to it. Don't give up. Honestly, don't give up, because you will get there one day. Honestly, you will do it. There's no doubt about it. You gotta stick to it.
You gotta stick to it.
Stick to it. Yeah.
Stick to it. So that's the takeaway message today, and thank you for all your work, brother, and I really do appreciate it. I wouldn't have thought a year ago that this would have happened, that we'd have, CFS hoodies and, just talk to people in different countries and help them. Yeah. And I mean, I think the DVDs have been sent off to Korea, UK, New Zealand, America.
Just you saying that makes me feel awesome. That's like my work, people seeing, what I filmed, I never thought was possible one day, but yeah, that's great.
So turning something into negative,
turning something into negative is so positive, it's amazing.
Yeah. And so that's the take-home message from me as well, is, if you are struggling out there right now, it's not the be-all and end-all, and know that you can turn something negative into a positive, and I mean, really anything in life, there usually is a positive if we search hard enough for it, and we start to find solutions, not problems. And our story alone is sometimes I forget about it, and I need to pinch myself and realise what we've done together and what we've created, because it means a lot. It means a lot to me. It's my whole life. I guess that's why I put so much passion into it, and that's why I was so annoying with you, to film all the time and to get it done, because it affected my life for too long, and I don't want it to affect people's life forever, and and he feels the same way about it. So I'm really grateful to have Charlie in my life, and Charlie at the CFS Health Centre, but not only that, but just to after overcoming something so hard, to actually put the energy back into it. And most people kind of give up and they just want to move on with their life, and that's fine as well, and that's understandable, but I could just see a missing gap in the world where people, we need that. Yeah. Someone needs to be there for everyone, and I'm glad we can provide that. And and touch so many lives and inspire them. So thank you for listening and watching, and make sure you keep a lookout for more of Charlie's awesome videos and DVDs. Make sure you visit the website as well, www.cfshealth.com. And have you got a website yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Coming soon.
If you Google Charlie Ford, he'll be famous in about 5 years. I bet you he'll be like the next #1 Hollywood director. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Cheers. Yeah.